So Steve reached out to me. We had asked him a year ago what would happen if we wanted to start our own wheel line, and he actually was super interested in helping any way he could. So this time he reached out to us and said, are you guys ready yet? Because I would definitely go partners with you if you wanted to launch a wheel line.
This newly formed team would be constructed of the largest media team in the wheel industry and one of the largest truck wheel and tire distributors in the nation, vowing to focus on aggressive, proper directional, high quality, and innovative wheels that know how to listen to the lifted truck market. ARKON Off-Road has every intention of reshaping the truck wheel industry.
Now Ben and I are also going to meet with Steve to talk about what will it take, and the odds are 99% that we're gonna do this, as long as Steve has envisioned what I have envisioned. And then we would basically create a whole new brand, a whole new image, a whole new company that has their own wheels. And we would make the designs, and then Steve has a team that actually creates the working functional designs. He has factories that would produce the wheels, some in China, some in the US, and then we would basically have our own wheel line. It's a lot of open discussion right now. There's a lot of people on the leadership team are pushing to make it rotary forged wheels because they want a higher quality wheel, but they don't want to go the forged route because that's super expensive. And they're also pushing for it to be potentially a truck and car brand that does an off-road version and then a car version, starting with trucks and then moving into cars. And they're also pushing, I know one thing I want is exposed lug nuts, no lame plastic caps cover up. I want this to push our spike lug nut sales and make that even more sexy. So we're kind of starting to get a feel for what does our brand look like. We knew we wanted a really strong, aggressive, maximum of 2 syllables name that when you wrote it out had really hard lines and a really aggressive look to it. Ultimately, we ended up on a car ride on our way down to meet with SD about the possibility of starting a wheel company. We really wanted a name when we got there. And I believe Alex threw out the word arc. By bending something, creating that arc is how you create strength. And that's how they get the strength of a wheel, is by creating a continuous arc. So we knew we wanted an arc. We latched onto that, and then we started throwing prefixes and suffixes on there and just played around until we came up with ARKON, which we then Googled and found out that it meant like ruler, leader, kind of, you know, king of the pack. So that felt really good. ARKON is how that is spelt. And then we took the C and H out because they were too roundy, put in a K because it had nice hard lines like we wanted, that we felt was gonna fit the really clean brand of ARKON. And then we got to a point where we had all these designs, and I think it was like in the 23rd hour, we were about to outsource it and have somebody else do it. And Jeremy goes, well, do you wanna just look at the ones I came up with yesterday? And we're like, wow, where did Jeremy come from? But definitely have never seen him design a logo. So he threw his up on the screen, and I think everybody in the room went, yep, that's it. Like literally, we knew he had the design, and we just needed to refine it and figure out, you know, what we wanted to twist, bend, and move. But he crushed it literally on that first try. And I think a logo is like that. When you see it, and you'll know it's the one when you see it. And that's exactly what happened when he put his designs up on the TV in front of us.
John made a good point. I like the A that without the center thing. It needs to be widened.
I did. This is wider now. I made it as wide as the R is. It's the exact same width.
But the R just has more like lines to it, so that's why it looks bigger, probably.
It's the same width, and then I made this bold too. Justin talked about that. Yeah. So compared to the other one, yeah. Cool. And then I just got the cutoffs that you guys wanted. So that's my final that I have is that. So if you compare your back, so this one right here to that one. That one's got the lines cut out, so then it's not attached. And then the other one has it attached then, so that's 2 options.
I don't like attached.
Neither do I.
It doesn't need
like
like the same K.
It's bringing up this character and losing the K.
Sure.
I like that.
So that was the one variable that I had on mine was that thing.
So don't do that ever again.
Yep.
Oh, I like this one, Junior.
No, that's
basically that's your wheel design.
If you stand, you can see the logo. It's the same one you have as your background.
So this is what Junior's showing us, which I like. I had to lighten it up so you can actually see it because he sends hidden messages.
Is it actually going to be that color on the center cap, or is it going to be?
It'll be a matte black. It's like embossed. It like sticks out. It's not flat with the center cap. It sticks out.
It's more noticeable than it is on the TV.
Barely.
Absolutely. I could have made this white. I just wanted black on, like a matte black on black, so you can kind of get the feel. Okay. But you can't see it.
And I don't think people are like, God, I wish I had a more prominent company logo on my wheels. People are like,
but at the same time, you want to be able to see it.
There it is on the wheel. I just love that. I think that's it. Yes. And created this last minute, and our team went, fuck yeah. But I wanted to bring it to the big team. Is there anybody that when they look at this, so this is the center cap of a wheel. These are the truck wheels only. And then this would be what you would see on the box or stickers, t-shirts, hats, that kind of stuff. The long logo, basically. I just keep staring at it going, now that's what I was looking for. Something that you just get excited when you see it and you're like, it just looks expensive, well made. We were talking about doing a leather patch. Like I think I sent, I don't know who I sent that to. A camo snapback hat with a leather patch embossed. That would look insane. We want it to feel like luxury off-road, which makes Rainey mad, and I get it. I thought about that and I love it. The wheel industry, I believe, is doing that on purpose. It's to be a smartass. Same reason they keep making mud tires that nobody's ever going in the mud with. But I think that's the trend right now, and I think that's why Banker was passionate about it, because we all just, it's the trend. You can't change the market as a new company. This one you should have saved.
The fuck is that?
There's the Atari logo.
It looks like the Lakers.
Bullseye.
Looks foreign.
So you kept the same logo and you just changed the circle?
He's playing with center cap.
These are center cap designs. That's all these were.
And he gave us his favorite one first, and then all his other ones look terrible.
Those are my first.
That one makes me think Iron Man. I like that one. Like, actually like it or no?
No.
Like if we were like starting a comic book.
It's a Pokeball.
ARKON.
Jared, what are we doing today?
Making the short logo. Don't get that close. I'm barely awake. Making the short logo for ARKON Off-Road, and it's done.
The thing is, none of this footage is gonna have audio. Like I don't think anyway.
At first, I think we were talking about doing an all black emblem on a black cap because we just wanted it super duper clean. The minute we rendered that out and looked at it, it almost looked blank. It looked like there was no brand to it. So then we backed up, went to the typical chrome, but that wasn't enough. So if you really look closely at the emblem on the center cap, you'll see it's actually got a brush finish to it. We've never seen somebody come out with a chrome with a brush texture to it. And I know the brush textures are really hot right now. You'll see some of the finishes also represent that brushed texture. It's those details that we constantly are picking away at to try to stand out and make something unique for our buyers. It's been insane seeing how hard it is to reinvent a wheel when there are so many companies, so many sick designs out there, and to be able to stand out and create a design. But we just kept listening to the industry. We decided we're gonna start this company. We came up with a name. We got like a cap logo design, and we're like, oh boy, now comes the hard part. We need to design some wheels. We threw up all these wheels on the wall of wheels we love, wheels we hate, wheels that are out there, wheels that went away 20 years ago. It was kind of, you're not going to completely reinvent the wheel, but it's more to understand the industry, look at some cars and some trucks and see where everything's kind of going and get just a feel for it. So we created this whole wall full of different wheels and then set up a board and had blank sheets where everybody in the company could grab a sheet and just start drawing up designs. And people started throwing out some wild and crazy designs. I think there was only like 2 people that were really trying it, maybe 3, 4 tops. But there were some pretty crazy designs. A lot of them, even from our guys, looked a lot like the ones that my son was also designing. I think when people first try it, they want to get all crazy and have something that nobody's ever seen before. And it looks like Homer Simpson's car from when they let him design a car in the Simpsons episode. And it looks like a spaceship with some sort of weird bubble on it.
What does this monstrosity cost, Jerry?
In the early couple of days, our designs weren't going so well. So I did what I do best and I became absolutely obsessed about it. I started drawing wheels all day. I would go home at night and draw wheels with my son. And I just kept drawing him and drawing him and drawing him until I came up with a couple that I was willing to submit to have rendered out. So this is the ARK 3, which everybody's in love with, and Steve has also agreed should be our first wheel.
Is it in the porn industry? Way to go, Kevin.
You got the right center cap on there now, nice.
That'd be the only thing.
So the center cap's been fixed to be the black on black. They forgot to remove the dimples. They're on it right now, so if you could just picture it without those. They fixed the machining on here. And now this is a 6-lug version, which we were afraid would look weird because it's 8 spokes.
Oh, looks good.
But it looks good.
Looks really
You don't even notice it. And then I noticed in the other angle, same thing. It looks great. You can't tell the spokes versus the lugs.
Oh, is that concave too? I was gonna say, I think
You
I've
haven't seen this
before.
yet. You should have had somebody else hold the camera. Look at that, Fuller.
Yeah.
That's where you get to see it all.
I like that.
So it's concave, it's directional, it's true directional, so we'll have a right and a left. And it'll be 6-lug, 5-lug, 8-lug, exposed lug nut. And the only thing we gotta get rid of are the rivets, and it's pretty much a go. And you'll notice that there's no lip at the back of the spoke. So the spoke's got this nice clean little boom, and then it's a wide open barrel, so the lip looks like it goes for, on a 24x14, it'll look like it's got a 14-inch lip on it. Steve is asking, shouldn't this have a light gray versus black on black? He doesn't like that you can't see the logo at all.
What would machine? So it's like silver?
That's what everybody does. They put chrome on there, plastic chrome.
Gotcha.
So I think I would agree with Steve, do like a dark gray.
Yeah,
dark
charcoal. Right.
I feel like right now it looks like an unbranded cheap wheel.
It does. And that's what I think Steve is feeling. Long way with the cap design. That's such a better cap than what they started. It wraps around the spokes.
That's just a red.
Oh, here's our 8-lug.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're gonna do this in crystal burgundy, kind of like the Lambo color, with machining. And then we're gonna do it in completely polished aluminum with clear coat. It'll look like a polished wheel. Really cool.
Dark gray K on it.
That's way better.
Barrel and the ARKON. You like it, Fuller?
Yeah.
The K is visible, not
Concave?
where it's like, oh, there's a K.
And that's a 6-lug too. Concave spokes, directional. That is fucking hot. That's what's going on CO2 in red.
Like it.
Why do you keep putting red wheels on all your vehicles?
That's what I'm doing this summer. Next summer too. When that Lincoln came up, you know, it was just a yes, 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 must have it. Everybody just kind of went crazy. They knew that that was a clean wheel. They knew that it had the hybrid look to it. And we felt the same way. We just felt like we had gotten a slam dunk. You guys ready? Yes. This better not suck, because this is like the one. Don't suck, don't suck, don't suck, don't suck.
Oh yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Here, that's gotta be.
Yeah, what if you did this?
John, it's your wheel.
I'm thinking the smaller.
Yeah, no, I like it like
You
that.
like walked over and watched the big.
John, did you make that?
That's my last one. My last idea.
It gives it that truck look. If you go any thinner, it's a car wheel.
It's very close to being a car wheel.
Here's the actual fang.
See, the only thing that they changed is this here,
They didn't keep my spoke as thick.
and this is curved.
Oh no, they made it all look like this one. There's the coffin. I love that it's got the coffin, and we should call it coffin.
Yeah, but if
How are
you
you
look,
gonna find the leader?
if you look at a
As they
rendering,
all died. Dead, we'll call it dead presidents.
I want them dead, brother.
Wonder if that's copyrighted.
Like the song? Yeah, you'll be fine.
I don't think so. I don't think you can copyright something that's just.
Well, turn it to the flat view though.
Or you could call it the mummy. Or no, what did they find in Alden?
Pharaohs?
The pharaohs? The pharaoh? Yeah. When we got to the Ark 6 is what it was as a rendering that became the Ark 2 once it got to production. Ultimately named the Cleopatra, was actually named the King Tut. So ARKON King Tut. People start coming in, they're like, you're not really gonna call it King Tut. They just, dude, I wanna get some King Tuts on my truck. And everybody was really frustrated with how that came off when you said it. So we, took the feedback and heard from the team that that just wasn't flying with them. So they flipped it to the Cleopatra. We're sitting there looking at the cap. It didn't have that clean design that we were going for when we started with the logo and the cap and everything. So we sent one back and said, what if you take the cap and just make it perfectly clean like a hockey puck, just nice and clean, no weird stuff to it, just keep it clean, almost like a forged wheel cap. And they sent that one back and it was just absolutely perfect. With the Cleopatra, we thought it was gonna be a flat face wheel, and when we sent it off, that was the design on the napkin sketch. When it comes back 3D render, we're sitting there spinning it and we're like, oh wow, they put like a concave twist to it. And that's the kind of stuff that's super fun, because you have one idea in your head, but when you send it off to the engineer to be rendered, it comes back looking a little different because he's putting his spin on it. And between the combination of everybody is how we keep ending up with these wheels that when we get them back, even the guy that originally sketched it is blown away by what it looks like, because it wasn't exactly what was in his head, but it's a better version of that. And I mean, we go down to tweaking the angle on the knife blade on the front of the Cleopatra. It's that level of detail that gets super fun, even though it can be a little frustrating. We don't always agree with it. It's what makes the difference for that finished product.
These wouldn't be directional, right?
They would be. They would be directional.
I mean, true directional.
I think we would do true directional.
You don't have to, otherwise you're just going to be.
I like it. That's
we
what
talked about that the other day, that we think we would. Now it was time to get those rolling and keep going on new finishes.
Oh, what in Sam Hill?
What is that?
That's nice.
Oh,
Raw-
I
raw
don't know if
aluminum?
I like the brushed on that style wheel. What do you think?
I like it. And then that'll be like normal milling, like regular metal. I think it's just the fact that the cap.
Well, the cap isn't the right one.
Yeah.
I'm still working on them with that.
I feel like people are gonna buy it because they're like, I'm gonna get this wheel that looks like a forged wheel, and then they're gonna put it on and be like, it actually looks like a really cheap forged wheel, because they're gonna be like, it's not polished, and like, yeah, but that's what you bought. Was
In this design, I agree. It looks like a silver painted wheel with brush marks in it. In the other design, I think it looks like a polished, brushed wheel. Red.
Ooh. Now that I like.
That's hot.
Yes.
That's nice. I like
With a
that.
black barrel on the back. I would
They're gonna do
continue the
two
red all the
color?
way through. I would not do the black on the back like that, because it makes the lip look shorter. The lip's supposed to look like it goes for days.
Yeah, I suppose.
Damn, I really like that.
What do you think, Jerry?
I like it.
What do you think, Max?
Looks great.
It should be a darker red, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, fit. It's fit.
The only one I've seen.
What do you think of that one?
I like that one a lot.
Good, because that's our first wheel we're producing.
I like how it's concave and Nicolet.
That.
Have you seen this one?
Yes, that's the only one.
Just wait.
Just wait.
The coffin.
It's better than that.
ARKON coffin.
That should be the king tub.
This was my last design. Now John's got them all. I'm out of ideas. I'm fucking spent.
John's gonna look dope. I don't know if no one's seen that.
I sent his out today. The turbine? The turbine one?
No.
No, the turbine.
Oh, fuck.
So these blades come out in front of the back of the next one, so it kind of twists as it comes down and pops out. Now that we had the design nailed down for the Alexander, the soon-to-be known ARK 3, we knew we wanted to get into some of the details. So now it was time to start figuring out what to do with the face, the front lip face of the wheel, or the rim of the wheel. The industry was telling us, get away from the rivets, stop putting rivets on everything. We just wanted the one clean logo, about 3.5 inches long, and then the rest of the lip completely clean to keep with that super clean styling. Just do ARKON off-road.
Right.
That big.
That wouldn't be awful then.
We're not looking for not awful, we're looking for bad. Next thing we know, we get an email from the factory and they're like, okay, send over your box design. And we all just kind of looked at each other like, oh my God, we have to design a box. It was really quite a production. If you ever look at a box, just appreciate the amount of artwork that goes into making that happen.
You could drop one and have just like two different sides that are like duplicated.
You should save this for when we launch the car wheels.
Yeah.
You can change this to wheels and you can port forged and save this for when we launch that one. You cannot make a truck box that looks like this. The truck guys just won't have it. This one starts in a...
This is the one I created.
Ooh, I like that corner thing you got going on. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Sample top A, sample top B.
Well, one would be the top, one would be the bottom.
Yeah.
Any feedback on this one?
I like it.
I feel like you could use more color. You're only gonna have 2 Ks.
They repeat the design?
They
Do
repeat
they have
the
labels
design.
on 2 sides?
I think they only have labels on one side, so I have to come up with a third design then to make
I think
up.
that's where you could add more red. We decided that we're going to announce to the world while they're here and also to the internet, because we hadn't even told them yet, that we're going to go ahead and launch this ARKON wheel brand in partnership with SD. So we call down there and we're like, you guys got to get up here. I think that was one of the best moments because we finally got to tell everybody the secret we've been keeping for months as we're working on this project. So we have one more thing that we've been hiding from the world that we want you guys to be the first ones to know. Do not fall down from there. Don't do it yet. So we have been, a lot of people think that custom offsets like is milling wheels in the back room, and that's how you can order your custom offsets. And all along we keep trying to tell them, no, we just offer like 60,000 different wheels of other manufacturers. Well, we're kind of getting tired sitting on the sidelines, so we're gonna jump in the game. We will be launching ARKON wheels, which will be our very own manufactured and designed. So if you all don't have them on your vehicles next year, so Steve, come on up. We have partnered with, Steve is our best friend in the world down in Chicago. He's the one, if you walked around, you didn't see the 100 and some wheels and tires I told you we're selling every day. His whole team fills those orders every single day. So they have a massive facility down there that we go and visit on the regular. We hang out, play cards, do stuff that buddies do. What? Oh, drink boots of beer. Yeah, so Ben, you can come over. So we have partnered with them, and that's gonna be ARKON wheels. So we will be the marketing mega giant, and then they will be filling the orders from Chicago. So we'll basically be unstoppable and take over the whole world. And you are here to witness it. Steve, you have to give a speech I didn't tell you. Go Bears.
I guess if I put it on the spot.
Say go Bears.
Yeah, go Bears.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Being put on the spot, the only thing I can say is like, I'm amazed just coming into this facility. It's pretty amazing what you put together. I wish our facility was this nice, and but it's not.
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
And he's been, both of these gentlemen have been great partners. I think you have a great team, and we just really appreciate working with you guys. So thanks on behalf of us to you guys.
Now that we had announced to the world that ARKON was going to be a thing, we knew that it was go time. So the way we do things is we're super structured, super disciplined. Spent, I believe it was almost an entire day brainstorming, coming up with ideas, and kind of deciding what the brand was going to be, and then what our initial approach was going to be from now until midwinter before the wheels came. So starting to roll out that marketing plan and our strategy of how we're going to get this company up and running.
How do you spell strategy? E-G-Y?
I don't know.
S-T-R-A-T-E.
Good enough.
I originally thought this was the ARKON strategy, then as I was creating everything, I realized no, the people we have in this room and what we're doing is actually the marketing strategy for ARKON. So it's marketing / creating the brand. The deliverable is to leave with the info to construct a clear marketing plan and X matrix for ARKON. So everybody knows what the X matrix looks like, but it's going to be specific to the marketing branding side of ARKON. Right? So start picturing website and t-shirts and how our brand is presented to people. It didn't take long as the team was talking and we were all kicking the ideas around. Custom Offsets is a big show truck brand. So the majority of our customers are show truck customers. They absolutely love their trucks. It's all about big wide wheels, big sizes, low profile tires. That's just the primary of what we've been around for the last few years. So we knew that ARKON was going to become one of those brands. We knew that it was going to be very big sizes. We knew there was going to be super clean designs and that we were going to create something really special.
What's happening?
Right now we are taking a look at a new wheel for ARKON. Right now we see a lot of companies that will use a lot of car wheels to inspire truck wheels, and you're gonna see it a lot in their like semi-concave. They have a lot of like double 7-spoke things that are coming out now, a lot of twist styles for their true directional. And so we thought we would try to do a little bit more of a car-ish
inspired
car-inspired wheel design and put it into a truck variant. So this is our first time that we're taking a look at this. Not entirely sure what we're gonna call it, but hopefully it's not complete trash, but it might be.
I don't even know
I'm
what to
keeping my
expect,
expectations super low. Just like everything
Sean's
else
super
in my
stoked
life.
though. Sean's like ready for this one to be the one.
Yeah, Sean's gonna look at it and he's either gonna say, I hate it, or he's gonna say, we need to make the mold right now.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no in between.
His mindset, I think, is we need to make the mold right now. He's like, he thinks this is the one. So
Yeah, I agree.
he hasn't opened it though, so we don't know what we're looking at.
What if it's terrible?
I don't know.
Just got the one that
Where's the one
I'm most excited about, and I haven't opened this yet because I'm so scared. This has to work or I'm going to be really sad. Now it sounds like they did it in orange rather than copper because they don't understand. But and they're suggesting plastic hardware, which isn't a big deal in a truck world. They do a lot of plastic hardware.
Just click it.
Yeah, I'm actually like super like anxious.
I am too, because I want it to work so bad. Oh, I think I love it.
Oh my! Wow,
It's
that is
very
cool.
I love it.
In orange, it doesn't look that
But
bad.
I think
We don't have a busy wheel. I want it to be like your wheels on your car.
Yeah.
They're annoyingly busy, so I want them.
They're really loud, but I like that about it.
That's hot.
I think it is too.
That's like SEMA truck wheel right
Yes.
Alright. This
It's-
is the official person to ask right here.
Rainy.
Yep.
Yes.
there. This is the guy that hates everything.
Oh.
Not that.
Look at that all day.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. That's dope.
it's supposed to be copper though.
This would be copper, not orange.
I don't even care.
You do whatever color you want.
So this ring comes off, and you can, exactly what you said, you could tape this with the ring off, paint the center any color you want, put the ring back on, and even if your painter doesn't know what he's doing, fucking done deal. Looks like a 3-piece wheel. There is not another truck wheel that looks anything like that at all in the entire fucking
Because is
cast.
anybody doing that like
Even in the
3-piece look
forged market,
in
it's
truck
still
wheels?
its own
No.
thing.
Even in the forged market, they don't do the hardware.
And I think this will look better with color.
This is the most car truck wheel that
Oh
we'll
my
have
God.
ever seen the market. Most of the guys that are going to buy this wheel are going to be 8 lug, and they're going to be 24 by 14.
That's true.
This is not going to be a 20 by 10 wheel.
I wouldn't even make it in 20 by 10, honestly. Is it
No.
worth it?
No. I wouldn't.
My first reaction was no, and I think I want to keep this exclusive. This should be a 26 by 14.
Like a big boy.
That would be the big boy, yeah.
The smallest size of that one should be a 22 by
22
12.
by 12.
Yeah.
That is so fun.
Because you don't want it to ever look ugly.
Yeah.
So what this one is this is John's drawing that he drew from scratch.
Christ, you just call us John off the wheels.
Right?
I'm going to tell him when he gets back, go ahead and put ARKON lead designer in your email. Sign off. So John produced this, which is basically this wheel, but he wanted the milling to run this way and pull from the center cap. The problem is you'd have to have 2 molds because your 6 lug and your 8 lug are totally different, and the 6 lug isn't going to match up with the spokes. So it'd be 2 totally different wheels, which we could go that direction in the future. So what I did was, Alex and I were looking up something else and looked on a wheel company website and saw a car wheel, and all of a sudden I could picture that was kind of like what John was doing. So I just erased the center and I pulled what he was pushing from the center towards the center.
Okay.
And then did they keep that? I think they did.
I was gonna ask about that actually.
And that's just John taking the ARC 9 concept and dragging it into a new wheel design. And he kept that kind of bladey look.
Oh, sure.
Now we could even do the overlap.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because then it's
Too
going to
much
get
of a
even
unique
busier.
characteristic on
Yep.
that one wheel that you don't want to do it for everyone.
Now, I was sketching, and they thought, so I only took a picture of this corner, because I wanted them to see, because I didn't want to keep drawing. So I stopped and only took a picture of these two.
Were they
They took that as an alternate, and I think I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
See how it's doing big and then sharp and then blunt and then sharp?
Oh.
I think I like that. And that's totally on accident.
Really?
Or do you
Well,
want them
if
all
you
consistently
give
sharp?
If you give them sharp, it's gonna make that window bigger. which I think you
No,
want.
if they're all sharp, they'd actually look shorter because they're gonna hit the spokes too soon.
Yeah,
You'd
but
have
they look
left.
thinner too, when you look at the small versus big, the
Go to the 6 lug though.
Yeah, what did they do there?
Same thing, just bigger.
Yeah, but if they were deeper,
Oh,
it
if they
would
were
feel...
all deeper, it would make that center smaller on the 6 lug.
I said do the skinny one. It also makes the spoke itself. I would do whatever
Skinnier?
makes that spoke bigger.
As skinny as
like
possible.
Skinnier but longer.
Right, yeah.
Give it more depth. That's
why
instead
that
of the
longer,
blockier
skinnier
look. Triangle then is the one to go with.
Do you want to keep this cutout going? I think no, because
No.
I think that diamond they made on, because that's not what we were saying.
Yeah, but they just kind of.
I guess it is what we were saying. No, wrong one. No, I had a huge cutout.
Can somebody tell the weather to calm down, please?
So that's totally by accident that they actually were looking at this and this. All of a sudden this design came out, and I think it was called the ARK 13 or something like that in the render stage. It was about our 13th attempt, and it was one that when John sent it to me, it just looked totally different. It had this ring that could be removed, and it looks like a 3-piece wheel when you first look at it, but it's just a single-piece cast wheel. But you can powder coat it different colors, and we went, this wheel is special. There's something about this wheel that's gonna stand out, and we wanted to keep it that way. So that's where we came up with the Crown series. So again, going off of the ruler aspect, we wanted a whole series that's really focused on, you know, being the best of the best when it comes to our ARKON wheels. I'm fucking pumped about that wheel.
Well, I'm definitely at that one that we were excited about. We were stumping on that.
I like how we have one that's different. Like people might talk shit about it, but that's like the
to show it to
face.
Team Stance because somebody might share it.
Right, that's. I like it though because it is a wheel that
But as
people are
long
going
as
to talk
Steve
about.
agrees that we can produce it right away, nobody will. I think we're fine.
See, this is a wheel that you have to run on a super like expensive truck. Like this would not look good on the Bronco. It would not fit the style of that. It's not very.
It's gotta be on a new truck.
It's got to be on a new truck. Yeah, like yours would look. CO2 would look amazing on it. It's got to be the right vehicle for them, but.
And I think CO2 could even pull them off in copper or one of those colors.
Absolutely.
Not orange.
Hardware.
How about the Tool series? Because you're a fucking tool.
Tim Allen.
The Tim Allen.
Tim Allen,
Build
like...
series or something.
Mild?
No, build.
Build.
Series. Build series.
Build not bought.
Because you can build your own wheel.
Ooh, he says. It's funny that they went to get Rainey to see if we were all on drugs or not.
I dig it.
We have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Team Stance.
You risky motherfucker.
Nobody's gonna beat us because we're gonna
make
this our first wheel. This and ARK 3
Yes,
are gonna be the first wheels, and then because John is in on this one too, so that's not gonna burn John's ass any. I bet you he'll agree. And then the second round would be this one and this one. This is a more traditional wheel again, and that one. And now we can wait for
So you're not
round
You're not gonna have a non-directional until the third release.
Steve's not gonna like that, but that's what I'm gonna beg for. Oops.
That's our thing. I agree with that.
But I mean, it establishes who we are. It's like
Same.
It shows our identity right away.
true directional cast wheels. Here's the
It
fuck
also
count.
shows our wallet. We'll see what Team Stance says. Now, if this one fails at Team Stance, we've got a bit of a problem.
Are you telling them it's your wheel or all wheel?
They know that these are our wheels now. We have launched ARKON to Team Stance.
Yep. This one's kind of dangerous though because like the truck world doesn't have anything like this. Like even the forged wheels, no one buys the forged versions of those because they're stupid expensive. And like, so I'm curious to see what Team Stance thinks just because of the fact that it's like very car inspired and maybe the truck world's not ready for it. I don't know.
All right, are we done here? I'm going back to do actual work.
It's funny how much you learn as you get into it because when we started, we're like, okay, what are we gonna name the models as we go? And we're like, let's just keep it simple and call them ARK, ARK1, ARK2, ARK3, ARK4. So as we started coming up with napkin sketches as we were designing the wheels here and then sending them off to the engineers to have them actually modeled up into true 3D renderings, we would just name them 1, 2, 3, 4. Then as they started coming back, you know, we've submitted, I bet you 24 designs so far and only have chosen 4 for production. As they would come back, then we would rename them ARK and then the Roman numeral 1, ARK Roman numeral 2. So those were the final production numbers. That was this is gonna be a final design that's gonna make it to the customers. So that kind of gave us our numbering system for production wheels. And then for names, we really wanted to focus on who are some of the rulers throughout time. So you'll see the Lincoln was one of the first ones. And then we came out with the Alexander was another one, another, you know, great well-known ruler. Once you start getting designs down, now you get into sizes and finishes. Sizes, we pretty much already knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to do the sizes that were very typical of show trucks. We knew this was a show truck brand. So that was quick, easy, got over it. We knew we wanted to go from 20 by 10s all the way to 26 by 14s. So that was a done deal, moved on to finishes. This is where it got really, really difficult. We knew and know we want a burgundy finish, reddish finish. We know that that's really hot in the car world right now. We know it's gonna become hot in the truck world. We want a brushed finish. We want a chrome finish because we feel chrome is making a comeback. We knew we wanted a gloss black with some milling to kind of help out the guys that are trying to match those chrome bumpers. It's been probably the hardest part is working with the manufacturers to try to get those finishes down. And I've been able to talk to some of the other guys in the industry and they say the exact same thing, that the finishes are one of the hardest parts. And I think that's why you see so many black wheels out there with milled finishes or machine faces. When you start getting into milled, translucent, red finishes so that it gives it that brushed wheel look, give it that forged look, that's when it gets really, really difficult. And that's the phase that we're in right now, is trying to figure out how to put those pieces together and come out with a finish that will blow you guys away and blow the market away and not just be another black wheel out on the market. Because we've heard loud and clear that you guys just have had enough of the black wheels. We're now a few months into it. We've got wheel designs out there. We know about what the brand's gonna do. We've told the world about it. We're marketing it all over the place. And now it was time to get more specific. So we had our ideal state dinner where we got together and we said, who does ARKON look like in 3 years? What is ARKON going to become someday? What are we going to be when we grow up was really the conversation. And as we started to do that, we really started to nail down what we were going to be doing with the brand long term. One of the funnest moments was the day that it went from marketing plans and rendering wheels to we come to work and there's boxes and they look an awful lot like wheel samples.
Hey, so can we see?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually do kind of like it. We start tearing into these boxes and boom, there was something that we napkin sketched 3-4 months ago. 5 months ago, it wasn't even a thing. It didn't even exist. And now we're standing there holding wheels and getting to see our actual napkin sketches turn into real wheels. I think that's when rubber hit the road and we realized this was the real deal and we actually had a wheel brand.
We're not facing that way.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not going
I'm
to
gonna do it for John because he just doesn't understand what we're trying to do.
Oh, okay, now I see.
More speed. More speed.
I think it looks killer though. That is such a good look. That's crazy.
I like that milling.
And I want you guys to look for little stuff. So some of the stuff we've already told them is this needs to be even more brushed. It's got some brushing to it, but it needs to be completely brushed and duller. And then this needs to, the line needs to come all the way to the K, and the line needs to come all the way to the K. So it doesn't look like it says RK on.
Austin.
That thing is all smashed. All that matters. Especially when it comes out to
Woo!
Like in every single shot I try to take, somebody walks in front of me.
I walk right.
Milling pop more, do you like that?
I like it. I like it.
Negative 81 offset.
Oh, I forgot they were doing those offset numbers.
It does. Hey, how can you not say what size you are? What's a tight measure? Oh, 2414. Yeah. So the 26 will be even bigger. Oh, 2 inches.
Give or take.
They're as light as they can be. They've removed as much material as they can.
Sure.
I'm pretty happy with the finish too. As soon as the excitement of, oh my gosh, it's a real wheel wears off, you start picking apart at it. So there were little things like the logo on the front rim lip of the wheel wasn't perfect. It wasn't quite big enough. The lines didn't line up exactly the way we wanted. It didn't have the arch that we wanted. It didn't have the milling that we wanted. We got to that level of messing with it as far as getting it perfect and making it exactly the way we wanted it. I bet you to date we've had about 25, 30 samples. I think we've approved about 10. So less than half of them were to the level of where we want them. And some of the special colors, we're still working on that because we want them absolutely perfect. So just because it became a real wheel, sometimes it meant we were still a long ways away from that final product. One of the common misconceptions is that you can just have wheels made anywhere, which is not the case. We actually looked around the US quite a bit. We weren't able to find a single wheel factory that could do up to a 26 by 14. I don't think we could even find one that could do the 22, 24 inch wheels. So it was pretty much, you know, a given that we had to go to China, and that was where I started to realize why most of the wheel companies are having their wheels done in China. They have the equipment for it, they have the experience with it. So we're able to lock in a really good factory that we work with very well. The email responses are super fast. These guys are just great to work with. And we let them know that, you know, this is gonna be one of those situations where we're gonna wanna come and see the wheels before anything ships to us as far as the final orders, because we wanted to pull some and do, you know, on-site inspections, look at the finished quality, look at those final details, and just make sure it's absolutely perfect before the containers start flooding over here. The factory was absolutely awesome. It was amazing to see the massive amount of production they're doing. The level of quality and the different testing that they had blew my mind. I learned a whole bunch about checking into how alloys are made and how they check the density of the wheel and the chemical makeup to make sure that the alloys are at the right levels. They've got a shakedown test where they put the wheel on a machine that shakes the living shit out of it for days just to make sure that the fatigue issues aren't there. So they were able to show us some very, very cool stuff. They do an impact test where they drive a big heavy weight onto it and see how bad the wheel gets damaged when they smash the hell out of it with a 1-ton drop or something like that. It was just really, really cool to see how good of a job they did and the time they put into it and the effort they put into it, and see the wheels from start to finish. We got to see them from molten aluminum through the casting process to the CNC and cleanup and deburring process, all the way through to the finished CNC machining and the bolt hole drill out, your center bore, and then they go off to the finishing areas where some are going off to the powder coat to be powder coated black or one of our specialty colors, and then the others go off for chrome plating, and then you see them all come back to the packaging area where it's right down to us picking out which corners we want as far as the cardboard corners and the foam or plastic rings. I mean, the attention to detail was just awesome, and to be a part of every single choice along the way was super cool. When we walked out there and they were staging the wheels as we were starting to approve them, and we're standing there in front of a wall of ARKON wheel boxes, I think that was the moment where it went, holy shit, this is an actual wheel company. We are gonna have thousands of customers, and we did it. You know, 7 months earlier, we talked about what if we created this wheel company, and here we stood in front of this huge mountain of wheels ready to be sent over to us so that we can get them mounted up, balanced out, sent to you guys. And I think that was the oh shit moment that we had done it. We had built a wheel company. In 7 months, we went from, can we come up with a name and should we make a wheel company, to we're gonna have wheels sitting here ready to ship out to customers. And the fact that Custom Offsets and our entire team and SD Wheel and their entire team were able to come together and form ARKON Off-Road. I mean, you've got some of the top marketing and style and industry guys in Custom Offsets, and then you've got one of the world's largest distributors of wheels and tires. Steve from SD Wheel has been here before. This is his second brand that he's created. He's been the guy that's, you know, set up, him and his brother Joel have set up the ordering of the wheels, and you smash those together. ARKON Off-Road is gonna be absolutely unstoppable.